All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start off by giving all praises and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect men of Yasharallah, scattered across the four corners of the planet Earth. Those who diligently push this word in truth and in sincerity, risking their lives and livelihood to do so. Shalom to the sisters who watch and who learn as well. All right. And this is some what's in the news. All right. I don't have any title for this, but this article was sent sent to me. All right. And I read a little bit, and gonna go into it now. All right. And read some of this article, all right? And this is an article from the Haaretz, okay? Haaretz newspaper, okay? Uh, and it says Jewish world, okay? And this is what's going on in the Jewish world, and the Jewish people are those 1948ers, all right? So they want to dig into our history. So, concerning Kanye West's inflammatory comments, all right? And, there's a lot going on with that situation. As you see, I've been doing videos on it on and off. And let me say, I do not, feel that this guy Kanye is sincere. All right. But only he knows. All right. What I'm more concerned about with this whole Kanye West ordeal, okay, is just seeing how these how the celebrities are acting. All right. And pretty much they're deepening, Esau, okay, and Amalek, all right. They're pretty much deepening the divide, all right. And now they are using Kanye West, all right, as a tool, okay, along with other people in the entertainment industry. They're being used as tools and they're being used as pawns, okay? Knowingly or unknowingly, in this game that is being orchestrated by Esau Edom, okay? And so, you see a lot of these entertainers, they're coming out to pretty much condemn Kanye, all right? They're coming out to condemn Kanye, and all of these individuals, man. Whether it's Puff Daddy. I mean, if you think for a second that Puff Daddy, these talking heads, Joe Budden, Candace Owens. If you think any of these people sincerely, even Kanye, okay? If you think these people honestly and seriously, have, any love invested, okay, for their communities, you are greatly mistaken. Okay? These people are bought and paid for. Okay? That's why that's why you see a Puff Daddy, all right? Because he was bought and paid for. That's why you see a Kanye, okay? Bought and paid for. All right? And whatever, deal these individuals took, okay? I wasn't there, I don't know. Okay, whatever deal they took, that's between them and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, at the end of the day. I know some of these individuals are part of the alphabet agenda, all right, the LGBT agenda, all right. And so all they are doing is, letting Esau deepen. They're allowing Esau, these Edomites, to deepen the divide, all right? And that's ultimately what's going to happen. Okay? Ultimately, that's what's going to happen. Now I'm going to read this article, okay? And it says, and I'll probably do a part 2 on this. I'm just going to read the article, then I'll come back and do a come back with the scriptures. But first, this is going to be a part 1, part 2 video. All right. And this is from Jewish World. Okay. And it says black people are actually Jews. Okay. And it's a quote. Okay. It says the history behind Kanye West's inflammatory comments. So that's, black people are actually Jews is something that Kanye, I'm supposing, said. All right. So this is a quote coming from him. Okay. And this says an idea introduced in the late 19th century by preachers trying to promote African American uplift and racial justice became, over time, a rhetorical weapon used against Jews by blacks distrustful of them. All right. Now, is this true? It's not. Okay. This is not true. Okay. A so-called African American or a black man during the early or late 19th century, okay, the early 19th century, all right, would not be able to tell the difference between a Jew or any other type of Edomite, okay, because they pretty much all shared the same position. Okay, they were all deemed white people. So they have started this argument, this article, off already with lies. Okay, they've already started the argument off with lies. Okay, in the late 19th century, as well as the middle 19th century and early 19th century, so-called blacks were not allowed to read. Okay? They were not allowed to read. And if they were caught reading, they would be put to death or beaten. Okay? Or if they knew how to read, whatever they knew how to read would be beaten out of them. Okay? So this article is starting out with a bold-faced lie. Okay? talking about an idea introduced in the late 19th century by preachers trying to promote African American uplift and racial justice, okay, became over time a rhetorical weapon. Okay, no, man. It's the truth. Okay? You know, these men, okay, these earlier men were, they figured out, okay, who they were, man. All right, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, as you will see, man. Most of these individuals have had no education. Okay? Says in 1892, an Oklahoma preacher born into slavery received a series of divine revelations that compelled him to launch a new church and with it a new religious movement in the United States. Okay? Black Israelism, better known as the Black Hebrew Israelite movement, which is another falsehood. Okay? There is no such thing as Black Hebrew Israelites. Okay? And we don't teach anything about Black Hebrew Israelites. Now, do you have Israelite groups who are with the Black Hebrew Israelite what can you call this? Agenda, all right? Because this is an agenda by the Amalekites, all right? By Amalek, so-called Jewish people, all right? They're the ones who are pushing and who are behind Black Israelism, okay? There's no nation called Black, and there's definitely no nation called Black Israelites. Okay? Now, were the original Israelites of the Bible, were they so-called black people, dark-skinned people? Yes. Yes, they were. Okay? But Israelites come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. So there's no such thing, and we don't teach any such thing as a so-called Black Hebrew Israelite. Okay? It says more than a century later, the movement's central tenet that African Americans are the genealogical descendants of the ancient Israelites has repeatedly found its way into popular culture through the expressions of non-Jewish African American entertainers and athletes such as Kendrick Lamar, Kodak Black, Nick Cannon, and Deshaun Jackson. And these people, okay, were all set up, all right? These people are all set up by Jewish individuals as well, okay? They're not following, the people that they just mentioned are not following the Hebrew Israelite code of conduct, all right? They're not following the guidelines of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. They are following the guidelines of the 1948ers, okay? The 1948ers, which are imposters, okay? Yes. Now, do you have some real Jews among them? Yeah, okay? But for the most part, these people are imposters, okay? None of the biblical prophecies fit these people, and I'm talking about the 1948ers, okay? The small hats, okay? So-called Jewish people, okay? The Lord said that Israel would be punished, chastised, okay? and the 1948ers, okay, they have control of the Western world as you know it, okay? And they have had control over the Western world for quite some time. Okay, you had automobile maker, what's his name? Ford. Okay, what's his first name? I don't remember his first name. Okay, but his name is Ford. All right, let me see. Henry Ford, I believe. Let me see. Henry Ford, the international Jew. All right. And this was a book, a publication by Henry Ford. Okay, and let's get a quick, uh, you know, rundown on the International Jew. Said the International Jew is a 4-volume set of anti-Semitic booklets or pamphlets originally published and distributed in the early 1920s by the Dearborn Publishing Company, an outlet owned by Henry Ford, the American industrialist and automobile manufacturer. Okay? Reading on, it says, The International Jew is a book written by Henry Ford, who authored books and articles which make claims about the Jews. Okay? Henry Ford won an acclamation and medal, okay, from Hitler, okay, for this book. Okay? So, this was not something that was unusual, all right? These people, they understood what was going on, okay? See, there was a divide then, okay? Because during and you see how they just tried to just make it seem like it was just the Hebrew, so-called black Hebrew Israelites, okay, who came up with, no, man, okay? So this was something that was already known, okay, that these people had stolen the identities of the so-called Negro, or so-called African American, or so-called black man. All right, and called themselves the Jews, and gave the so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American. And yes, okay, so-called Hispanics and Native Americans are Israelites as well, and they knew this. There's books, Lost Lands, Lost. What's the name of the book? They look, Lost Lands, Lost something, Lost Civilizations and Promised Lands. I believe, I forgot the name of the book. Okay, there's a book by Della Casa. All right, a book that I read, which goes and shows you, man, and tells you in detail, okay, that uh, Cristobal Colon, who the world ignorantly calls Christopher Columbus, had knowledge that the so-called Native Americans and Hispanics were indeed the Hebrew Israelites, all right? Black, okay, what they call black Hebrew Israelites. And so what these Jews do, okay, what these Jewish people, okay, these 1948ers, what they do is they set up these individuals. My mouth has gotten a little dry. 1 minute. One second, Salakia. Yeah, I'm cracking a cold one. I would have a ruby red grapefruit right now, but I'm going to drink a Corona extra. All right. So they set these individuals up. All right, Salakia. And so if these individuals and these people want to, okay, case in point, your boy Nick Cannon and some of these other individuals, all right? Um, some of these people have turned around and have apologized, okay, for things that they supposedly had learned, for things that they supposedly know, okay? So what are you apologizing for? Okay? Why are you apologizing? All right? So it says, reading on, it says, in some cases, these figures have also trafficked in anti-Semitic tropes about Jewish mendacity and manipulation, which is, that's not false. Okay, there's no, and they throw this anti-Semitic, garbage around, man. Okay, there is no such thing as anti-Semitic. All right, it would be sham. All right, sham, not sim. Okay. And we are of the seed of the lineage of Shem. All right, get it right. It says last week, the artist formerly known as Kanye West, invoked Hebrew Israelite doctrine when he described a friend as a Jew, just like all so-called black people, in an Instagram post. All right. The friend, fashion designer Jean Tuit was born in Tunisia to Jewish parents. He is not black. Okay. A couple of days later, Instagram locked Ye's account after he posted a text, okay, exchange with Sean Diddy Combs in which he suggested Combs was controlled by Jews. And see, that's, in which he is. Okay? He is controlled by the little hats. All right? And let me reiterate this, okay? When people are born in places like Tunisia, Ethiopia, parts of North Africa, Kenya, all right, um, Egypt, they are labeled as white, all right. East Indians, they are labeled as white, okay, here in the West, okay, because there was no need for these people to be, stripped of their understanding. Okay, and these people also, the Ethiopians do not accept you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans as Hebrew Israelites. I'm going to get that out there right now. Okay, Ethiopians, a lot of these people that you jakes, man, you love these other, man, you a whore for real. Okay, when you tell these people, because I remember, man. Okay, I had a deep and I still remember dialogue with a group of Ethiopians. All right, two of them was two very famous Ethiopian football or soccer players. Okay, who somehow got asylum or a green card to live and work in America. Okay, and we would discuss the scriptures, and at this time I knew, this was before YouTube, obviously, all right, or as I would have, before I had any understanding really, okay, or as I would have shredded them with the scriptures, all right. But that's how about Shimmy, how say everything's in due time. But you know you know they pretty much laughed at the fact, man, okay. That he said no. They pretty much called so-called blacks here in America cotton pickers, man. And they didn't say cotton pickers, you know, like the movie, with what was it, Romeo's Last Dance, okay? But you are not accepted by these people, all right? Just want to put that out there. A lot of you rosters be holding uh, that big head ass, that mother looks like a damn alien for real, man. Haile Selassie, okay? And you hold his nutsack, all right? He didn't give a damn about you jakes, man, all right? Well, his people don't give a damn about you. But you talk about he's a descendant, man. He's man, that big ass head, man. All right? That little, he looked like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. All right? It says, so ye who identifies as a Christian, okay, turned to Twitter. All right? So, you could read that part, all right? It says, much of the outcry over Yee's post centered on his use of the phrase, okay, DEFCON 3, which that's nothing, all right? But some also flagged his pronouncements about black people being the real Jews as offensive, especially to actual black Jews, all right? And then they're talking about these Ethiopians and people from Africa, all right? They don't accept you so-called Negroes, all right? Says on Tuesday, okay, I don't care about that, okay? Says who the people, says when I say Jew, I mean the 12 lost tribes of Judah, right? The blood of Christ, all right? Who the people known as the race black really are, okay? The tribe of Judah was one of the 12 tribes of Israel, all right? So, he knows about the 12 tribe chart, okay, but he's still, okay, coming with a Christian agenda. All right, he's went and grown a beard, okay? Where did this claim come from? And is it inherently anti-Semitic? It's a question. As someone who has reported extensively on the African Hebrew community in Israel and the context from which it developed, I can offer some essential background. See, you have these Edomites uh, who come around the camps, man. Okay, and people dialogue with these individuals. All right, and what these individuals are doing is they're building some type of case. All right, they're building some type of information. Okay, some type of case. All right, some type of narrative that they would come up with, man. Okay, so you see these so-called Edomites around the camp. Okay, some groups let them join the camp. All right, and their whole purpose of being there is for infiltration. All right, and let me see who wrote this. It might be Vocab Malone. Okay, let me see. JTA and Andrew Esteen. All right. Credit. Okay. Okay. Get back down. It says, as someone who has reported extensively on the African Hebrew Israelite community in Israel. Okay, because you have a Hebrew Israelite group in Israel. Okay, because the knowledge of being Hebrew Israelites. All right, uh, you know it's nothing new, man. This is nothing new. All right. The knowledge, when I was in grammar school, okay, there was a family of close friends of mine, all right, who all were Hebrew Israelites, and I didn't, we didn't look at them different, or they all looked like us, okay. So, but they wasn't, they didn't really say like, y'all Hebrew Israelite, because they were Americanized. All right. They were probably fearful, they just wanted to fit in. All right. Very beautiful people, man. Very beautiful brothers, man. All of them and sisters. Okay. And, they didn't try to, push it off and say, you're a Hebrew, and that's all we knew that. Um, and, and their last name is Beard. Okay, Beard. Their last name is Beard, man. Okay, and that reminds me of when I hear the elder Malcolm from Chicago. And the elder Malcolm from Chicago. He grew up with one of these brothers as we went to school with one of these brothers as well. Okay. But when the brother goes into the Vikings, all right, and the story of Blackbeard, that's who I always think about them. Okay, so but damn, there's the last name Beard, man. That A, okay. But anyway, it says in the late 19th century, two former slaves turned preachers, all right, Bishop William into the commandment keepers, all right, and who mostly um we're Old Testament only, all right? And this is where we get Abba Bivens, all right? Who formed the One West, all right? This idea also served. Okay. So we jump down, all right? The idea that right, so here it goes. It says the idea that African slavery in the Americas was not a mark of shame, but instead a mark of distinction as Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's chosen people appealed to some so-called African Americans. Okay, yes, because American is a lie. Okay, there's no such race of people as African American. All right. It says, who appreciated the way the doctrine gave them pride and dignity in the context of Jim Crow segregation that sought to subordinate and humiliate them at every turn. Exactly. And that's scriptural. Not, referring to Esau, all right, the wicked. This is in Job, believe it's Job, but it's does he, he spits in my face at every chance he gets, man. They're talking about the so-called white man. All right? This so-called white man, he has to go. All right? He has to go. All right? Simple as that. So most of the so-called, they know who we are. They all know who we are. All right? From the elites. Now these lower class Edomites, they're just like the 2/3 of our people. They're stuck on stupid. Historian Jacob Dorman writes in Chosen People, the rise of the American Black Israelite religions. Okay, so I about that. So that's something I had to go in and research. It says Crowdy and Christian traveled widely, preaching a form of what scholar James Landing in his book Black Judaism, Story of an American Movement, called Judaic Christianity. Okay? Salakia. Both prophets were influenced by the Pentecostal holiness movement and Freemasonry, and they emphasized strict adherence to the Ten Commandments and abstinence from alcohol. All right, in an attempt to foster racial harmony. They required white and black worshipers to ceremonially wash each other's feet. Okay, so where the hell do you get? They even had, according to this, they had white and black worshipers. Okay, such unorthodox teaching often got Crowdy and Christian into trouble. Crowdy was said to have been jailed 22 times while touring the Southwest. Okay, so they were going teaching this, and Esau wasn't having it at that time because it wasn't that time. All right, that wasn't the truth. Okay, but as you see, all right, there wasn't a piece of paper that told these men that they were the Jews. All right, they received divine, okay, It said they received divine influence, a divine revelation, all right, that led them down this path. Okay? It says due to their limited contact with mainstream Jews, they performed rituals based on their own interpretation of the Bible, resulting in distinct ceremonies on Passover, for example. All right? So, they were doing things, all right, you know, according to the scriptures. Okay. Okay. It says among them were Rabbi Arnold Josiah Ford, a Barbadian musician who founded a synagogue in Harlem before moving to Ethiopia in 1930. Rabbi Wentworth Arthur Matthew, who was ordained by Ford and founded the Commandment Keepers, all right, congregation in 1919. Significantly, Matthew saw white Jews as being instrumental in helping black people return to Judaism, all right? Eber Ben Yomin, aka Abba Bivens, all right, who broke from the Commandment Keepers to start his own camp known as One West in the 1960s, all right, and so on and so forth, okay? And so, here it is, a, you know, this has been known, okay, since and there's and when I got into this truth, man, I could tell you, Esau is, they're deepening the divide, all right, and go look that term up, deepening the divide, all right. When I first started using, Google, searching for for information, all right, I was finding synagogues, all right, in free Negro towns in the South, okay, and it was before this time period, okay, of these commandment keepers and Crowdy, okay, so this is nothing new, okay. You had the slave uprisings of people like Nat Turner. All of these people had revelations, the spirit, the true Israelites, and that's why they rose up. Okay? So, when does it say that, in the end times, and we know that these are the end times, okay, as we can see what's going on, these are the end times. The Jews are not supposed to be in control of all of the wealth in the world in the end time. Okay? Control over entire governments. These people have control over your justice systems. Okay? Total control over the banks, the money. Okay? So they have control over everything. Okay? That's why they utilize these goofballs like Kanye and these other rappers. Okay, these people have no backbone. Like I said, if these individuals had any kind of backbone, the first thing that they would have done would be, a demonstration of freedom would be, an expression would be Buy a tank and get Jake into the mode of monkey see, monkey doing, buying tanks. But see, they're not going to do that. That's how we know that most of these people are controlled. So, come on. Only time they're tough is with other Jakes. Okay, they use these people to, keep beefs going, keep you Israelites divided in your community. That's what they use these. That's the purpose of these rappers. One point in time, rap brought people together, man. Okay, rap would bring people together to go to parties and dance and. But they have infiltrated. Look who I've already did a video on who the label who own all the labels, man. Okay, go see that video. Okay, if we're wrong, if So like I said, I'll do another video. Come with some lessons. It's late. All right, you already know my schedule. So till next time, shalom.